The Oklahoma City Thunder fall to the Charlotte Hornets. SGA drops 29 points. Josh Giddey sets a career high. Kenny Hustle returns to the team, and the Thunder play a second night of a back-to-back tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. All of this and more coming up on today's Locked On Thunder on the Locked On Podcast Network, your teams every day.
You are Locked On Thunder, your daily Oklahoma City Thunder podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Let's get it going on the Locked On Thunder podcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your teams every day. I am your host, Rylan Stiles. You can follow me on Twitter at Rylan_Stiles. Follow the show on Twitter at LOThunderPod. Email the show, LOThunderPod@gmail.com. On today's show, we're going to dive into the Oklahoma City Thunder falling to the Charlotte Hornets as SGA drops 29 points. Josh Giddey has a new career high. Kenny Hustle is back, but the defense is not. Again, I am Rylan Stiles. Thank you for listening to Locked On Thunder, making us your first listen every single morning, every single day. We're here for you talking Thunder basketball. Subscribe for free across all platforms, including the new platform of YouTube. And again, I'd greatly appreciate your follow on Twitter at Rylan_Stiles. So let's start in this game the way we always do with our game overview. And that's the fact that Kenny Hustle's back. He clears health and safety protocols finally. He's back in the lineup and does play in this one. Now, Derek Favors was listed as questionable with a back injury. Remember, did not play on Wednesday against the Spurs. And then before the game, Mark said that he was available, although he did not play in this contest, and that was by coach's decision. That's very important because typically this season, Favors has not played back-to-backs, and the Thunder are presented with a back-to-back Friday, Saturday. And so Saturday, tonight, the Thunder play the Cavs. And Cleveland goes really big. I mean, they have Allen, they have Markkanen, they have Mobley. And you saw last time out, the Thunder start JRE and Favors together against Cleveland. And so if you wanted to keep Favors not playing back-to-backs, this is the game you'd want him to miss, even if he's healthy. So given that Mark said that Derek Favors was healthy and available tonight and then didn't play him, I think that that was kind of assurance of he'll play Saturday against the Cavs, but not tonight. And he's out tonight, but not because of the back injury, but because of the back-to-back management. So we'll see if that's true or not, but it is a big deal considering how the Thunder want to play big tomorrow, and Favors is the only real option for them to play big against Cleveland. We'll, of course, see how that all plays itself out. Paul Watson Jr. is out, Dale Maldon's out, Poku is out, Roby is out, and Vic Krejci's out. Those guys are in the G League except for Vic Krejci, who is out with an ankle injury that he sustained prior to Christmas. For the Spurs, I should say for the Hornets, Scotty Lewis did not play, and Ish Smith did not play. The Hornets start out with LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, Gordon Hayward, and Mason Plumlee. The Thunder start out with SGA, Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Wiggins, and JRE. The Thunder wore their white-out uniforms on the road this time, which was a good look for them, especially. I love the Hornets color scheme in the Hornets court, so it was a really good look on this Friday afternoon or Friday evening. I love the fact, too, that they played the first game of the day, got the game in at 6 o'clock, done in a reasonable hour. It was awesome. It was awesome seeing them play on this East Coast trip. But Thunder lost again, and once again, they lacked defensive effort. Once again, they lacked just overall defense. PJ Washington was really good off the bench for 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks in 26 minutes. The Hornets had 5 players in double figures. LaMelo had 10 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, a block. Terry Rozier had 24. Miles Bridges had 22. And oh my goodness, do the Hornets regret not getting a deal done with him before the year started, because he's been a ascending star this year, Miles Bridges had. And the biggest thing about the Thunder defense is that it really created no problems. Gordon Hayward shot 54%. Miles Bridges shot 50%. Plumlee goes 4 for 4. Rozier goes 47% from the floor. PJ Washington shoots 60% from the floor. LaMelo Ball did struggle a bit, shooting 33%, but the Thunder offered little to no resistance and did not make the Hornets uncomfortable when taking shots. It was just not a good game from them defensively. And that's back-to-back games where they lack effort. They lack intensity. They lack defense. And this team has been doing a good job this year of bouncing back from those lulls in effort, those lulls in defense. And it seems as though the grind of the season is catching up with them. Not only are you grinding and playing games, three games in 4 days and all those other schedule quirks, but you're also losing these games. And so that's frustrating. That mounts on you. It's a lot easier to get for games whenever you have a packed arena and you're top in the conference and you're a championship contender versus when the season's over, when it comes to playoffs, when it comes to something more. This season's about draft picks and about development. And it's not even February yet. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. And the Thunder, to this point, have done a really good job of avoiding that narrative, right? Avoiding packing it in, avoiding losing focus, avoiding disengaging from the season. But these last 2 games have been really bad effort, really bad intensity, and you want to see them turn that around. Now, they're going to have a built-in excuse. Saturday is the second leg of a back-to-back, so maybe it still continues Saturday. But past that, they really need to get off of this skid of just not bringing intensity. Because that's something that the Thunder can control. They can't control the roster construction. They can't control, the players themselves can't control the roster construction. They can't control the expectation, but they can control what they bring to the floor night in and night out. And for their development, you want to see them bring their A game and intensity every single game. So hopefully this gets corrected, and it's been 2 games worth. And so that is not a big enough sample size to warrant a panic or warrant a freak out by any means, but something to keep tabs on long term as we continue to progress here throughout these next few games. So hopefully that continues, and hopefully that kind of changes. I think that it will. I think that Thunder will pick this back up even tonight against Cleveland, but just something to monitor. The Thunder had 3 players in double figures. The Hornets once led by 25 points. The Thunder's largest lead was 2 points. The lead changed 1 time. This game was tied 1 time. So the Thunder were never truly in this game. They got out-rebounded by 10 rebounds. They had 1 less turnover than the Hornets. They had 2 less points in the paint. They lost the second chance effort 22-18. They lost the fast break points 33-24. The Thunder shot 37% from the floor, 27% from deep, and 80% at the line. The Hornets shot 45% from the floor, 34% from 3, and 70% at the line. Again, just not making the Hornets uncomfortable, not forcing the Hornets into difficult shots, not playing their style of basketball. And this was a game where the Hornets are, of course, an Eastern Conference playoff team right now, and they're having a good season, and they're a very young team. They're a very fun team. I love watching the Hornets. But this is a game where they're playing that up-tempo style. And at times it becomes a track meet. At times it becomes a fast-paced moving game. And that should play into the Thunder. That should be advantage Thunder. I've been asking this team to play faster, to get out in transition. Whenever they win the fast break points, they typically win the game. And tonight, they just couldn't keep up. This factor of playing faster, playing more, younger and athletic and positionless, and all the stuff that the Hornets do should help the Thunder keep a game close. Now, should you beat the Hornets? They're 6 games over 500. They're 7th in the West right now, in the East right now. They are a legitimate team. I'm not saying you should have beaten the Hornets tonight or should beat the Hornets in general, but you also shouldn't lose 121-98. You also shouldn't do that, right? It was difficult to see the Thunder play this way in this spot and just get kind of outclassed, get outmanned, get ran out the gym, because that's not who the Thunder are, even in this season of tanking and attempting to get better draft picks and better lottery odds, et cetera, et cetera. And hopefully this streak of bad play ends at 2 or even 3. Again, give them Saturday because it's a back-to-back and a travel day and this, that, the third. But still, you'd like to see this work out better for this young team, because I thought that we could be in store for a really good game tonight. I mean, you'll see how wrong I was during the Bet of the Day segment, but I thought that this game could have been one that was one of the more exciting games of the season because the Hornets play fast and in turn force you to play fast with Giddey, with SGA, with Wiggins, with Lou Dort. And it just didn't work out that way. You got ran out the gym still. We'll talk more about individual performances coming up, but first, I want to say right now, my good friends over at BetOnline.ag. Folks, I want to wish you a happy new betting year, and we continue to march through the playoffs and beyond in the NFL and beyond this season in the NBA. Folks, BetOnline remains the number one spot for all sport wagering action in 2022. New year and a new updated desktop and mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our code LOCKEDON to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, baseball, boxing, even UFC, and your favorite Vegas casino games. Do not wait. Take advantage of these amazing offers right now that are available for the 2022 season. BetOnline is the fastest and best way to bet on all of your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Folks, it's so much more fun to watch these NFL playoff games with some money on the line, with some action, some skin in the game. I want to show you how easy it is to place a bet. So you go to your search bar, you type in betonline.ag, you're in the search, you go over to sports, and bada bing, bada boom. I can bet on the Bengals plus 3.5 tomorrow afternoon against the Titans. I can bet on the Niners plus 5.5 against the Packers. Bet on the Rams plus 2.5 against the Bucks, and my Chiefs minus 1.5 against the Bills. A lot of fun football in store. A lot of fun basketball in store. Right now, the odds are already up for the NBA slate of games on Saturday. And you can see how the Thunder will do against the Cavs. The Thunder are 12.5-point underdogs against Cleveland in Cleveland. So go check that out as well at betonline.ag. Tell them Locked On sent you and the promo code. That's promo code Locked On. And they'll know what to do from there. BetOnline.ag, your online sportbook experts. Go bet on some sports. We are back on the Locked On Thunder podcast, on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your teams every day. Thank you for making Locked On Thunder your first listen every single morning, every single day. We're here for you, talking Thunder basketball. For your next listen, go check out the Locked On Now podcast, a nightly recap show of every NBA game with a breakdown from our local experts. Listen to Locked On Now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or even watch it on the Locked On NBA YouTube channel. Across all podcatchers as well. Plus, again, the Locked On NBA YouTube channel. Only the Locked On Podcast Network can do that. Local analysis from our experts about every single NBA game, because we know it's impossible to watch every NBA game the night before. So we're going to break down from it all with the Locked On Now podcast. Now let's break in to some of these individual performances. Let's start with SGA. Puts up 29 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal, a block, a turnover, 3 fouls. Got to the line 9 times, shot and made 8 of them. 1 for 3 from the three-point line. Not a bad night for him. 10 for 23 from the floor, 43% from the floor for him. The second quarter is where he really broke out. 5 for 6 in the second frame, 33 minutes and only 1 turnover. Just, I think that with this game from SGA, you really like what you see from him. 43% is good. Obviously, could have been better at times, but he was really all alone out there. This team did not play good on either side of the floor, but especially on the offensive end. I mean, you can just look down the list of who didn't perform, and you see that list grow with Ty Jerome going 1 for 8, and even Wiggins, who's a rookie and a 55th overall pick, but he's played to a level that you expect something from him, and he's typically been one of your most efficient scorers. He shot 2 for 8. So just the team didn't have it tonight offensively. So the fact that SGA could still muster up 43% on 29 points, and getting that on 23 shots is a really good night at the office for SGA. But the big storyline from this game is Josh Giddey, as he sets a career high in points with 21, shot 58% from the floor, 1 for 4 from 3, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a turnover, a foul. Again, just 1 turnover for a rookie. And he had some turnover bug issues last week and the week before, but only 1 turnover tonight. Some jaw-dropping passes that did not translate to assists necessarily, because, again, he only had 3 of them. One of those passes came right before the half, about a second left to go before the half. SGA, I think, made the shot with 0.5 to go before the half, to be exact, where The ball was loose. Josh Giddey barely gains control of the basketball at the baseline and gains control with one hand. And with that same hand, fires the pass to SGA, cutting down the lane for an easy layup, at the 0.5 second mark. And never uses his offhand, never gathers the ball with two hands. It's one fluid motion of gains control in one hand, uses that same hand to get enough strength behind the pass to get it to SGA on a dime and where it needed to be to lead SGA to an easy bucket. Because again, with 1 second left, if that pass is offline, even just a little bit, that adds an extra motion to SGA that takes a tenth of a second at the clock, and that kind of kills your chance of scoring before the half. Like, it was just incredible what Josh Giddey can do with either hand as a passer, and also the strength in those hands and in those arms, and just the strength of his body to gain that control of an NBA-sized basketball and fire it with ease on target, and also with enough velocity to get there and to lead to buckets for the Thunder. Really good night from him. Really fun to see Josh Giddey work that way. His shot chart is entirely in the lane. Entirely in the lane. It is wild, the shots that he took tonight. And he was aggressive. He shot 17 times tonight, second highest on the team. Really aggressive as a scorer tonight. And those floaters were working well in the paint. And it kind of makes you think, what can Josh Giddey become when you get him that lob threat? When you get him that partner to work off that lob? And you have that floater, and then all of a sudden you turn that floater into a lob pass, or you tease the floater, get the defense up in the air, bounce pass it down low to your big who can slam it home. Like, there's just so much off of having that elite floater and having these elite traits already that you can really see the vision long term. He's already an elite passer. He's an elite inbounder. He's really good with the floater. That's kind of a go-to signature move for him. He's progressing even in season as a three-point shooter, while acknowledging he needs to change his shot, acknowledging he needs to get better as a shooter. The sky really feels like the limit for Josh Giddey, who's finding ways to be effective. Remember, before the season, I said that he'll make all-rookie team because he'll compile stats, and the Thunder will start him all year, and the Thunder will give him minutes all year. And whenever you're evaluating rookies, you don't need to be efficient. That's what I said before the year. And he's found a way to be efficient from the floor while compiling stats and to find ways to impact this game effectively as a rookie is a really good sign long-term for Josh Giddey and for the Thunder as a whole. But coming up, we still need to discuss Darius Basley. JRE was really good in this game. What was the biggest problem for the Thunder? And we still have our bet of the day, our Moneyball pick of the day, the MVP of this game, and what's to come on Locked On Thunder. All of that and more, all coming up on Locked On Thunder. But first, I want to tell you about our good friends over at Built Bar. Built Bar is a fantastic protein bar that tastes just like a candy bar. Go to BuiltBar.com and use the promo code LOCKED15, 15% off your next order. Most Built Bars come with 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 grams of net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Compare that to a candy bar, which usually has around 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and a dozen net carbs. Here's an idea, folks. For your new year, go out there, find all your stashes of hidden treats, throw them all out at your home, in your pantry, at your office, in your car, wherever they're at, throw them all away. They're just empty calories. They're just nothing for you, and replace them with Built Bar. The beautiful thing is Built Bar has so many great flavors to choose from, so it never becomes boring to eat a Built Bar. They have raspberry, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond, cookies and cream, salted caramel, mint brownie, and so many more. And in fact, Built Bar is always coming out with new limited time only flavors, so consistently check back to built.com and see what they have cooking. My personal favorite is the cookies and cream Built Bar. And don't worry, these do not taste like the protein bars you're used to. They're covered in 100% real chocolate on the outside. They also do not taste waxy or chalky or taste like chemicals will spill all over them. They taste really good. They truly do taste like a candy bar. Go check them out. Built.com, promo code LOCK15, 15% off of your next order. Built.com, promo code LOCK15, 15% off of your next order. Use the promo code LOCK15 for 15% off your next order at built.com and go try them out today. Try them out with a cookies and cream Built Bar, which is my personal favorite. Make sure you go check out built.com, promo code LOCK15, 15% off of your next order. We are back on the Locked On Thunder podcast, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your teams every day. Thank you for making Locked On Thunder your first listen every single morning, every single day. We're here for you talking Thunder basketball. Subscribe for free across all platforms, including the platform of YouTube. For your second listen, go check out the Locked On Bets podcast. Locked On Bets is your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets is hosted by your boy Q with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free and available across all platforms. They're going to win you money for free over there at Locked On Bets. Now back to breaking down this game. We're going to talk about Darius Basley. Folks, he went back to the bench. Wasn't good. Was not good. 7 points, 3 rebounds, a block, a turnover on 8 shots. Had air balls. And the biggest thing is 1 shot in the paint. 1 shot in the paint for Darius Basley. Airballed a 3, front ironed another. Just the shot didn't even look good, right? Like, it's one thing to miss shots. It's one thing for them to go in and out or just to get a tough break or not get a shooter's roll. These are bad misses from 3 for Darius Basley. And I think that the threes he took tonight were explainable, like were realistic shots, right? Like they weren't terrible looks. He had space to shoot them. They weren't forced, but it just feels like you could have done better, right? It feels like you could have gotten him more action cutting to the rim. Because when he does get action diving at the rim, he usually scores. On his 1 attempt at the rim, it's Kenny Hustle getting a missed shot rebound and finding Basley diving towards the rim, and he dunks it home through defense, through defenders. Getting him in more advantageous situations for him would be a good thing for him offensively. But only 1 lane attempt, only 1 attempt in the painted area, that's not his style. That will likely never be his style. And so after a streak of really, really good games from the bench and nearly perfect games for the last 2 weeks, he's had a couple bad ones. He's got a couple really bad ones, one in the starting lineup, now off the bench again. And you really want to see him earn consistency, but at some point, you just have to say it ain't going to come, right? We've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I think that you should wait the rest of the year. I think that you should cast judgment on Basley when this season ends, right? And take in all the data from every game he's played. I don't think that you should judge him right now or cut him loose right now or do anything right now besides let him continue to grow and play. But not a good week for him after a perfect week from him. And that's what's so frustrating. That's what's so up and down about Darius Basley. But Jeremiah Robinson-Earl did play very well. 12 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 11 rebounds, 10 of which came on the defensive end, which ended Hornet possessions, which of course is a big deal because the Thunder not only play small, but again, today could not disrupt Hornet shooters and could not disrupt Hornet scorers. So it's big to end their possessions. 2 for 4 from 3, 62% from the floor. Really nice versatile big, really nice floor spacing. I love him more and more every time you watch him. Now, am I going to say he's a top 12 player from this draft class, as our draft expert Richard Stamen said before the draft? No, but he's getting there. I mean, I think that right now, if you redraft the draft, which of course it's way too early to do, it's before the rookie, it's before the All-Star break of the rookie season. But if you were to do that right now, I think he'd be a first-round pick. I really do. And I think that this team is just young, man. I think that they're hitting a wall a bit. I think that they're hitting the wall of the grind. And I think that after the All-Star break, we'll see them come out reinvigorated and have that energy again. But it might be a slog until then. But JRE played really well tonight. And that's their biggest problem is nobody really produced. Kenny Hustle was good from 3, but still, he looked like he needed to get his legs back under him. I mean, he's been off for a really long time and played 16 minutes, and he was still good, but just looked like he needed to get that extra those legs under him after being in COVID protocols. Mike Muscala played 12 minutes and only made one shot. Ty Jerome went 1 for 8 in 20 minutes. Wiggins defends LaMelo Ball well, but goes 2 for 8. And again, typically one of your more efficient scorers. Trey Mann was fun, but goes 2 for 6. And again, just could not fluster the Hornets at all, as they all pretty well shoot above 50%. So just a game that you just chalk up as a loss. It helps you in the tank column. It helps you with your draft pick, but one that you're not going to have, right? Bet of the day was Thunder +9. Again, I thought this was going to be a fun game. I thought it was going to be a competitive game. I thought this was going to be a close game and one that we really enjoyed. It was not that way. I lost that bet. Moneyball pick was Lou Dort. Lost that bet too. It was actually either Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, Trey Mann, or Kenny Hustle. They all hit 2 threes. And the MVP pick of this game, Josh Giddey, who had a career high in points on some nice efficiency. Really love what we see from Josh Giddey. Now, again, we're going to be back tomorrow to recap the Cavs game as we continue to march on. It's Locked On Thunder, your teams every day. Subscribe for free across all platforms, including the platform of YouTube. And until tomorrow, be good and be good to one another.